After a successful run in 2021, Mortal Kombat is making a return to our screens with a sequel. Looking for a little bit of the X Factor, the fighting game series is looking to spice things up with some Marvel connections. Is this some Avenger inclusion? Definitely not, but here's all we know.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First, Marvel and Mortal Kombat connection? Well, Mortal Kombat is preparing a sequel with Marvel writer Jeremy Slater. Find out more. According to a new report from Deadline, Mortal Kombat 2 is officially happening. New Line and Warner Brothers are taking the necessary steps to continue the franchise by hiring Jeremy Slater, the Marvel writer who, to his credit, wrote Moon Knight, and even though there was no Marvel movie, The Umbrella Academy, he would undoubtedly bring his flair and concept into the story and script for the upcoming sequel. On January 26, Deadline announced New Line's plans for a sequel. So far, only Jeremy Slater has been confirmed for Mortal Kombat 2. As Marvel fans may know, Slater penned Disney Plus's upcoming Moon Knight series starring Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, and Gaspard Ulliel. Additionally, he created Fox's The Exorcist and developed Netflix's The Umbrella Academy. Slater, who wrote to Twitter after the announcement to express his gratitude for the role, also promised to deliver an exciting experience for Mortal Kombat fans. Beyond excited to be joining the team, we're building something bigger and better and bloodier that's going to blow people's minds. With Jeremy Slater confirmed as the writer for the upcoming sequel, what should fans expect from the sequel? Wondering how a Jeremy Slater movie would look? Anyone who saw The Umbrella Academy could attest to the interesting storyline and regular twists. The good news for Mortal Kombat fans is that they might see all of these in the sequel. Although the end of Mortal Kombat provided a few clues on what to expect, the Mortal Kombat 2 narrative might be focusing on following Cole Young along with others because they hire new people as champions of Earth, one of whom is Johnny Cage. Although the first film, Mortal Kombat, did not include as many fighting tournaments as expected by the audience, the sequel could focus on it because Shang Tsung is sending his army to take over Earth. This might hint at the involvement of Noob Saibot, aka Sub-Zero's return in the sequel. In any case, Slater's involvement could give Mortal Kombat 2 a stronger reception and an overall improvement over the first movie. With the sequel in mind, what is the possible release date for the movie? Mortal Kombat 2 moving forward right now could mean that the sequel will be ready for release sometime in 2023 or 2024. While there are plenty of details yet to be revealed, one that could fly under the radar is how the sequel is released. Mortal Kombat wasn't a big box office performer thanks to the pandemic, but it was a huge hit on HBO Max. It is possible New Line and Warner Brothers could make Mortal Kombat 2 a high-profile HBO Max exclusive movie. Now, in other news, Marvel is working on upcoming projects in 2022. Some 14 years after the sea change moment of 2008's Iron Man and the birth of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU is still an entertainment and marketing machine of incredible complexity and box office value. With the full might of the Disney juggernaut behind it, the MCU continues to dominate the box office every year, while also becoming the premier content anchor for Disney Plus throughout 2021. With the launch of series such as WandaVision and Loki, the studio closed out 2021 on a high note. In fact, as of December's release of Spider-Man No Way Home demolished expectations, taking in $1.7 billion worldwide during the height of the Omicron variant outbreak to become the 6th highest grossing film of all time. But that's old news now. What about 2022? What films can we expect to see make their way to multiplexes this year, hopefully in a post-pandemic era? What new series, miniseries, and TV specials, meanwhile, will we be able to enjoy on the small screen from the comfort of our own homes? The Disney Marvel machine machine is, of course, very busy with dozens and dozens of projects at some stage of development. But here, we're focusing specifically on every project that is expected to be released before the end of this calendar year, 2022. Here's a brief synopsis of each project headed our way in the next 12 months or so. One of the movies that could be coming to our screens is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Deeply connected to the multiverse plumbing, explorations of Spider-Man No Way Home, Loki, and WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness will see Doctor Strange embracing his role as the Sorcerer Supreme as he contends with the consequences of the rapidly expanding world of alternate dimensions that surround the MCU. Various performers, characters from previous Doctor Strange entries will appear, such as Benedict Wong, Rachel McAdams, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Notably, the film appears to be a co-starring role for Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff. Following the events of WandaVision and her embrace of chaos magic, production of Multiverse of Madness production has been a long and fraught affair. Slowed down by both COVID-19 production issues and personnel challenges, it was supposed to be directed by Scott Derrickson, the original Doctor Strange director and co-writer, who was announced as the Multiverse of Madness director in 2018, but he left the project in January 2020, citing creative differences. Just as the pandemic began to disrupt film production, he was eventually replaced by veteran presence Sam Raimi, Spider-Man and Evil Dead, making this Raimi's first directorial credit in 9 years since 2013's Oz the Great and Powerful. Up next is a continuation of the 2018 Marvel blockbuster Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Ryan Coogler makes his much-awaited follow-up to the global smash hit Black Panther with the sequel Wakanda Forever, sadly hampered by the tragic and unexpected passing of star Chadwick Boseman. The loss of such a prominent part of the MCU and the title character of this series meant that Wakanda Forever effectively had to be rebuilt from the ground up, and there's much about it we still don't know, from who will inherit the mantle of Black Panther to even a rough plot outline. Of course, that hasn't stopped the rumor mill, with one of the most popular suggestions being that Wakanda Forever will explore the high-tech nations introducing itself on a world stage, only to run afoul of an old enemy in the form of the seemingly mythical underwater kingdom of Atlantis. This option would presumably introduce longtime Marvel hero/anti-hero Namor the Submariner, who is effectively the Marvel version of Aquaman, and potentially see a war for vibranium between the two high-tech kingdoms. Granted, this is all just pure conjecture at this point. At the very least, fans should be comforted by the fact that producers have insisted that there will be no cringe-inducing, disrespectful CGI version of Chadwick Boseman. Returning performers for Wakanda Forever include Lupita Nyong'o, Diana Guerrera, Martin Freeman, Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, and Angela Bassett. They're joined by newcomers Dominique Thorne, Michaela Cole, and potentially Tenoch Huerta. Moon Knight is another Marvel film that could hit theaters in 2022. Moon Knight, a 6-episode miniseries based on one of Marvel's most eccentric characters, will premiere in March, and anticipation is high, especially given that he'll be portrayed by A-lister Oscar Isaac. Like all of these series, it will premiere on Disney+. Moon Knight is a story about identity, as Isaac portrays Mark Spector, a mercenary who suffers from dissociative identity disorder, who is drawn into a deadly mystery involving Egyptian gods with his multiple identities, such as Stephen Grant. In the comics, the character thus struggles with whichever personality is in control at any given time, gaining superpowers when he's under the control of the Egyptian moon god Khonshu, taking on the mantle of Moon Knight. As a character, Moon Knight has sometimes been compared to the likes of Batman if Bruce Wayne had multiple personality disorders. Footage from Moon Knight has already hit the web, giving us our first look at a cast that includes Isaac, Ethan Hawke, Lucy Thackeray, and French actor Gaspard Ulliel, who recently passed away following a tragic skiing accident. Also coming is the premiere of She-Hulk, a 10-episode series with a first episode that's expected to arrive sometime mid-2022. She-Hulk feels like it will probably be somewhat a lighter fare than the likes of Moon Knight, and we would anticipate it to display more of the modern MCU's comic sensibilities. It's rather funny, after all, to think that Bruce Banner's cousin would just so happen to also become, Hulk. But that's exactly what happens. She-Hulk stars orphan black frontwoman woman acting powerhouse Tatiana Maslany as lawyer Jennifer Walters, who is indeed the cousin of super scientist Bruce Banner. As an attorney, she specializes in cases involving superhuman powers, but we can assume that some sort of accident involving gamma radiation results in her becoming exactly that herself. Various Hulk figures will pop in, including Mark Ruffalo as everyone's favorite version of Bruce Banner, along with Tim Roth's Emil Blonsky/Abomination, last seen in his monstrous form in a brief cameo in 2021's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. New stars in She-Hulk include Ginger Gonzaga, Renee Elise Goldsberry, and The Good Place's Jamila Jamil as She-Hulk rival Titania. Filming wrapped in late 2021. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.